just to be there for Tina and for us. Looking back, maybe I took it all for granted. I mean, I just assumed that friendship would always be there, strong and solid. Tina and Maya used to talk about their future, making plans as if nothing could ever get in the way. They dreamed about going to the same college, maybe even moving to the same city one day. It was a given that they'd always be part of each other's lives. There's something funny about how you can get used to things, and maybe I got too comfortable. I don't think I ever imagined that anything could come between them. As far as I was concerned, Maya was family, and family is supposed to stick together, right? So, here's the thing, I didn't see the cracks forming, but now, in hindsight, I wonder if there were small signs. I wonder if there was something more I could have done or noticed. I thought Tina and Maya's bond was unbreakable, that they'd be those lifelong friends you read about, but life has a way of throwing things at you, things you don't expect, things you don't want to believe. If I'd known what was coming, maybe I'd have done something different. Maybe I'd have had a conversation with Tina about loyalty, about values. But back then, there was no way I could have known any of this was going to happen. So, for those years, Maya was part of us, and we were her second family. I believed in her, trusted her, and I had no reason not to. She'd been there through thick and thin, always a stable presence. I never thought anything could shake that. So, a few months ago, Maya started dating this guy, we'll call him Jake. At first, it seemed pretty typical. She was excited, telling Tina all about him, sharing the little details you'd expect. I remember Tina seemed happy for her, even teasing her about finally getting a boyfriend. It was the usual best friend stuff, you know. No one thought much of it. Now, I'm not one to jump to conclusions or try to read too much into teenage relationships, but there was something about Jake that gave me pause. Maybe it was because I'd gotten so used to Maya just being part of our family, and suddenly she was bringing someone else around, someone who didn't quite fit. I tried not to overthink it, though, because Maya was young, and I figured she was just going through that phase we all do, right? Where you get swept up in that first serious relationship and want everyone to meet them and like them. At first, Jake only came over once or twice. He seemed polite enough, shaking my hand, making eye contact, all that good stuff. And sure, he was friendly enough, but there was just something about him that felt off to me. I don't know if it was because I was so used to Maya being this open, bubbly person, and Jake felt like this closed book. He'd answer questions, but there wasn't much personality there. Still, I didn't say anything. I figured I didn't know him well enough to judge. But then, a few weeks into their relationship, Jake started coming around more often. He was over at our place so much that I'd bump into him in the kitchen or the living room. And I'll be honest, I wasn't exactly thrilled. I guess part of me was protective of Maya, even though I had no real reason to be. She was a smart girl, had a good head on her shoulders, and it wasn't my place to meddle. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off, and it wasn't just about Jake, it was also about Tina. I noticed this shift in her, like she'd suddenly become hyper-aware every time he was around. She'd glance his way a little too often, and sometimes I'd catch her staring, almost like she was lost in thought. I thought, okay, maybe she has a bit of a crush. I mean, they're teenagers, it's not the most shocking thing in the world. She was probably just curious about him since he was Maya's boyfriend, and that's normal, right? I brushed it off. But then these little things started piling up. I'd be sitting in the living room watching TV, and I'd notice Tina practically hovering whenever Jake was around. At one point, she even changed her clothes before coming downstairs, which she'd never done before.